It's time to learn about prepositions. Prepositions tell about objects that are in relation to each other. In the picture to the left, you can see that the soccer ball is in the net. Where is the ball in relation to another object? The ball is in the net. It's not under the net, on the ground, or in your hand. It's in the net. In the picture to the right, you can see the girl jumping on the trampoline. She isn't standing next to it. She isn't looking at it. She isn't walking by it. She's jumping on it. So what is her relationship at that moment to the trampoline? That's what a preposition will tell you. She is on the trampoline. With prepositions, it's all about the position of one object in relation to another object. In fact, the word position is hidden in the word preposition to help you remember. See if you can find it. Preposition. So let's take a look for a minute at how we would put the symbol. The Montessori symbol for a preposition is the green horseshoe. The ball is in the net. The girl is on the trampoline. This is a list that's located in the middle of your take-home folder or at the beginning of your Easy Grammar book. You should make sure that you have all of the prepositions memorized. So now that we know what a preposition is, what's a prepositional phrase? Well, a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun. The cat sat on the mat. Prepositional phrase is on a mat. The boy ate his breakfast. In this sentence, the boy ate his breakfast, there's no prepositional phrase. So how do you parse a prepositional phrase? Well, let's take a look at the first prepositional phrase. Over the moon. Over is a preposition, so we put our preposition symbol of a green horseshoe over it. We mark it out because our preposition, we know over the moon, because our prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or a pronoun. That noun or pronoun that it ends with is called the object of the preposition, and we abbreviate that with OP. Under the stars. Again, we look for our preposition. If you've memorized that list, you know that the word under is usually a preposition. We put our green horseshoe up and we keep marking out until we get to our noun or pronoun, which is stars. Stars is our object of the preposition. Near the sidewalk. We look at that and we know that near is a preposition. We put our green horseshoe up, we mark through until we get to the noun or pronoun, and we label that OP. Out the door. We know that out, in this case, is a preposition. So we go ahead and we mark it with our green preposition, and we mark it through until we get to our noun or pronoun, because a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun. We mark it object to the preposition, and whoop, we are done. So how do you parse a sentence? First thing you do is cross out the prepositional phrase. The second thing you do is you underline the verb or verb phrase twice. The third thing that you do is underline the subject noun once. Let's take a look at the sentences that we have below. The artist painted in the afternoon. Do you see any prepositions in there? If you said in was a preposition, you were correct. I'm going to go ahead and make my preposition symbol, my green horseshoe. Now, I know that I'm supposed to mark out from my preposition to my noun or a pronoun. Afternoon is going to be my noun or pronoun. And as from the previous slide, we learned that the noun or pronoun in the prepositional phrase was called the object of the preposition. After that, we look for our verb, which in this sentence is painted, so we underline it twice. If you have been in Montessori for any length of time, sometimes we have a red circle that goes over that word there, that verb. We don't use that in upper elementary. We use 2 lines to underline it. Next, we look for the subject noun, which is usually to the left of the verb, and that word in this sentence is artist. We just underline it once. We don't use a big black triangle anymore now that you're in upper grades. Let's take a look at our next sentence. The artist was painting in the afternoon. Do you see any prepositions in that sentence? Well, if you said in, you are absolutely correct. I'm going to mark my preposition right there. What's the next thing that you do? If you said you mark from a preposition until you get to a noun or a pronoun, you are absolutely correct, because a prepositional phrase begins with a preposition and ends with a noun or pronoun. Afternoon is our noun, object of the preposition, and we've marked it. Well, what do we do next? The first thing we do, remember, was find that prepositional phrase. That's how we parse. What do we do next? If you said find the verb or phrase, you're correct. We know that painting is our verb. But we also see this little word was here, and that's our helping verb. That little tiny word was helps that main verb painting. So we underline that one twice too. So in this sentence, we found our prepositional phrase, we've marked it out, we found our verb phrase. Now what do we look for? What's step number 3? Underline the subject noun once. The subject noun is usually always located to the left of the verb, and there we have it, artist. Let's look at our third sentence. The artist was painting. Do you see any prepositional phrases in that sentence? Let's look at the words. The, artist, was, painting. Are any of those on your preposition list? Nope, they're not. So we don't have any prepositional phrases to cross out. What do we do? Well, let's just go right to step number 2. Underline the verb and verb phrase twice. We know that painting is our main verb and was is our helping verb, so we underline those twice. Again, we don't use our big red ball that we used when we were little. Artist is our subject noun, and that is to the left. And that is it. You've just parsed some sentences. Yay! Mrs. Danio loves parsing. I hope that you've had a good time in this video, and we're going to do more parsing as the weeks go on.